Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I have a special guest with me, Reza Bashash, who is the CTO of Coinfield Exchange, and we're going to talk the Sologenic ecosystem and what great work they're doing there building on the XRP Ledger. Reza, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Reza, exciting stuff. I've been reading about the Sologenic project, and I think a lot of the folks in the XRP community and XRP investors are very curious about the work you're doing there. So, can you give us an overview of Sologenic? What is it about? What's its mission, and what things are being built?
Well, yeah, Sologenic is an ecosystem that consists of a few components, mainly three components that are tokenizing assets and spending these assets and obviously earning. So these are the main components of Sologenic ecosystem. The whole project is built on top of the XRP Ledger, and we are just about to release the apps for the decentralized wallets today.
Awesome, that's exciting. Official launch today of the apps, and would that be on Google Play and the iTunes App Store and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we really we focused on a few things. Availability was one of the things that we had on our list. So the app's going to come out for it will be released for iPhones, Android, um, Windows desktops, and Mac. So we'll try to release the app for all the platforms out there.
Very cool. And you mentioned that it supports XRP as well, not just the Sologenic token, as I can imagine, but also XRP. You mentioned it might be, well, it is decentralized.
Yeah, so essentially, because Sologenic is built on the XRP ledger, it uses the ledger for all its operations.
Mhm.
And building this app enabled us to make same functionalities for XRP as well as Solo, because Solo is in the XRP ledger as well. So when you download the app, you'll see two assets. One is the XRP, another is Solo. And in Q3 2020, we'll be releasing the tokenized assets for this app. And users are able to tokenize, trade, and whatever, with the tokenized assets. But for now, we have the Solo and the XRP coins available in the app.
Very cool. So, can you talk a bit about the assets that are going to be on in the ecosystem? Would it be like stocks, options, and things like that? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so the focus of the company is basically to enable tokenization on the blockchain. So it's nothing new. It's been out, like there's been many attempts on tokenizing, and there's been different blockchains used for this purpose. But Sologenic's approach to the whole idea is a little bit different. So first of all, we have all the compliance in place, meaning that we are able to tokenize stocks and ETFs on demand. So let's say that you want to buy tokenized Tesla.
Hmm.
So you can fund your account with any currency, Bitcoin or anything else. And when you go to the app or the website, you basically just convert that to a Tesla with a backward S, which is that it denotes the Sologenic, the Solo coin, and this coin is tokenized through the ecosystem. It instantly tokenizes that assets for you. Will
Wow.
buy that asset from the actual stock market, let's say if it's Tesla, and then tokenizes it on the XRP ledger and will hold it on a trust company. So we're releasing all the APIs and interfaces for one, a centralized exchange, and an oracle, which we call, which it takes care of the tokenization. Another is a decentralized exchange. So decentralized exchange is provided by the XRP Ledger natively. So we're going to be utilizing the decentralized exchange, and so we're going to be building our tools on top of this decentralized exchange and allow people to trade these tokenized assets when, let's say, markets or stock markets are not open or offline or etc.
Very cool. I love that. And it would keep them, like to your point, if stock markets are closed, it still is a market open on the Sologenic ecosystem there. So that's very cool. And why did you guys select the XRP Ledger versus maybe other platforms like Ethereum?
That's a great question. So we've put a lot of time and resources into researching on what's best for this specific project. And so we evaluated Ethereum, we evaluated the Stellar chain, we evaluated the XRP Ledger, we evaluated the many different blockchain. And we came to the conclusion that the XRP Ledger for our use case works really best. It is designed for banks, institutions, and financial institutions to transfer value and transfer assets. And that's exactly what this ecosystem is about. It's about transferring and trading financial instruments such as stocks and ETFs. Not to mention there's so many other benefits for the XRP Ledger, such as the speed, the scalability of the ledger, such as the security, such as transparency, and many other benefits we see on the XRP Ledger. And one more thing to mention is that we've been working on the XRP Ledger even before we announced the support of, before we announced Sologenic ecosystem, because in Coinfield, we've always had the XRP as the base currency, as one of our base currencies, and we had the validator, and we had some. So technical background of the whole team was one of the other major reasons that we wanted to explore XRP Ledger.
Awesome. And have you gotten any assistance from Ripple in helping build this out?
Well, yes, we are. Since the beginning, we've been very, very close to the Ripple company. But we've kind of been exchanging and going back and forth with many different topics. One of them that we've collaborated a lot on was the validator that we're running, and so we managed to bring up the validator and went to the UNL list for Ripple. UNL is the verified list of validators. So Coinfield basically created the validator, went to the UNL, and this was an ongoing collaboration with the Ripple company. Apart from that, we've shared the ideas and got feedback and so on. But in terms of collaboration directly in the project, we are in talks with the Ripple company.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, you do have, as far as what I saw on the website, an IEO, an initial exchange offer coming up next month?
Yeah, so the ecosystem utilizes a coin called Solo. So the Solo coin is, it's basically what makes this whole ecosystem possible. It plays a big important role and provides liquidity for this whole ecosystem. This liquidity is used for settlements with brokerage firms, stock markets, stock exchanges, and so on. So in order for this whole ecosystem to be financially successful, it needs to have a backing of Solo coins that are used for the settlements. We had a pre-IEO on December 9th, and that was finished. We have another IEO coming up. This is the public IEO and will take place on the Coinfield platform on February 18th to 25th. And users can register on the Sologenic website and get notifications as to when exactly the timing and all that the IEO will start.
Got it. Very cool. And what countries are you currently available in? Where can users around the globe, or which countries, as far as users around the globe can access it?
That's a great question. So every day we're working to add new countries. And so the list of countries are growing. It's available on the websites, on the Coinfield and the Sologenic website under the list of available countries. So we support over 200 countries at the moment that can participate and use the Coinfield platform and participate in the IEO. And the list again is on the website. So we have majority of European countries, many Asian countries, Middle East, yeah.
Cool. So obviously some big things coming up. I mean, obviously today, launch of the apps, and next month, the public IEO. Anything else you can share with us that, it's coming in 2020, and we understand if certain things are under the wraps for a bit, but any hints?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 2020, we've been saying the 2020, slogan all over the office since we got into 2020. This is our year, and we're really excited for the ecosystem to come out. We're going to be releasing all these products that will make this idea a reality, because the white paper is just a white paper unless you start developing and releasing actual products that will deliver the promise of the white paper. And that's exactly what we're doing. So we're really committed with the timelines, with the milestones, with all the product and specifications to come out on time and as expected. So that's what the company's been very busy, apart from the R&D and so on.
Awesome. Very exciting. Now, this is not financial or investment advice. Obviously, you folks are on the building side of things, and both from Coinfield and Sologenic. So I'm curious, what is your personal outlook for the crypto market? No price predictions or anything, but where do you see the market in the next few years?
Well, we've seen up and downs over the past few years for the crypto market, especially the bull run, the fall, and all that. And so what I personally think that cryptocurrency is getting more mainstream, and companies, institutions, countries, everybody are finding use cases on the use cases in the blockchain for their specific projects. So for example, Sologenic ecosystem is a great showcase on how blockchain can be used for financial and traditional financial problems such as stock trading or ETFs, because we're still using systems that are from hundreds of years ago. Everything's still there, and the concept of fintech are being really revolutionized by the whole blockchain industry. Not to mention the other industries such as medical industries, pharmaceutical industries, and oil industries. So everything, I was just reading on the news today that I think was it BMW or Benz are going to be using blockchain for carbon emissions, and they're going to track it on the blockchain. So that actually says that these companies and these entities are finding specific needs on the blockchain, which in turns make cryptocurrency be more valuable, because cryptocurrency is essentially a currency in the blockchain for projects to successfully be run, and it makes an economy for people to get incentivized to spend and to basically run the whole blockchain and the ecosystem.
Right. That totally makes sense. I'm in agreement. I certainly see the continued growth and maturation and adoption across different industries. And I know you guys are doing some great work there, Sologenic, and very exciting stuff ahead for you guys. And I love that you're building on the XRP Ledger. And, I'm very fascinated about bringing traditional assets into a tokenized format. And I think you guys are certainly ahead of the curve here in what you're building out.
Yeah, we're also very excited. And we're trying to get projects like we started the Sologenic apps and SDKs and everything. They're open source. And everybody can inspect. And we're also looking for open source developers and whoever is that's interested in developing and building on XRP Ledger. We have a lot of cool features to be built, and we're actually incentivizing developers for doing so.
Awesome. Reza, really, really awesome stuff. We'd love to have you back as things progress with Sologenic, new things that are happening there. We'd love to have you back on the show to talk about it. But thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you so much, Tony.